get into the show here. I didn't post the docket, but I can do that now. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Discussing Tabletop. I hope you're having a good day. Yes, we are starting a little early here. That's just my schedule, and we're running around post-stream here. We're just going to talk about some topics of this week. Obviously, we'll keep it a little bit short of a show here, too, but hopefully you can enjoy it and still pick up on some interesting news topics. Especially because there are some, at least one topic here does feel like we're going to be talking heavily about for a little bit of this. So, should we get into that? That's right, I have to make these things slightly smaller. Lots of things. Alright. And of course, as usual, thank you, Worm, for joining me on this and being able to pop in early.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
Alright. Well, I linked to this.
You only screwed up my entire life in doing so.
I know, I do that. It's my special skill. Life screw up. Anyway. Copy this and put it into chat for our first topic of the day. Boom. And that is going to be the Unearthed Arcana from Dungeons & Dragons. I mean, generally speaking, I still like D&D. So it's interesting to see that we are getting some of the old classes back now. They're calling it the Forgotten Realms subclasses, which is interesting. But I thought we had, like, College of the Moon before and some other ones, which I don't know if we've got major. Certainly we had Knowledge Domain Cleric.
Yeah, Knowledge Domain was in the core last time.
Yeah. So,
Purple Dragon Knight was a Forgotten Realm specific set. It was in the Sword Coast setting guide. I think College of the Moon was as well.
I know the Oath of the Noble Genie is new, and
yeah, I think
the Blade Singer's been upgraded. So let's take a look here. They don't say there's a lot of major changes for like College of the Moon, so I assume that one's a pretty forward and center, whatever it is. It does look like Knowledge Domain got updated with some stuff, like some better spells. Uses actually some Channel Divinity, some telepathy, which is kind of weird, and advantage on some D20 tests at the 17th level. For 17th level, it's bonus action. For 1 hour, you have advantage on D20 tests.
Sorry, what are we looking at right now?
I kind of skipped over College of the Moon just because it looks like that one doesn't really change.
Okay.
To Knowledge Domain Cleric.
Okay, that's what we're looking at.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, that's cool. It's 17th level. You give yourself an hour of advantage on D20 tests. Neat. Pretty powerful.
I think the proficiency with an artisan tool was a thing that they already had.
Cool. Interesting. The Blessings of Knowledge. Oh! I guess it's an artisan tool and 2 knowledges. It might have been an artisan tool or, like, with an artisan tool or knowledge, you know, and it would be, like, 2 of them. So now you get, like, a third thing.
Oh, and you also get expertise. Hold on.
Knowledge domain there. I remember where that was from.
Player's Handbook. That one was Player's Handbook.
Was it Player's Handbook?
Yeah. Because they were, like, the domains had, like, 5 or 6 domains in the Player's Handbook, where they reduced it to 4.
Cleric and Wizard had a lot of stuff, and they got rid of a whole bunch of them. I forgot that. It's an easy forget sometimes with
Cleric knowledge. Yep. First level, you gain 2 languages of your choice. You also become proficient in your choice of 2 skills. Your proficiency bonus doubles for any. Yeah, so you already got expertise, but they gave you artisan tools rather than languages. So that was the change.
Here's the thing: the tools is neat, but I guess like languages is one of those things that it is as important as the game is going to have it be, and then you're
They have increased the usefulness by actually giving uses for them in the player core, or the player's handbook.
Okay. So for the artisan tools.
Yeah, there's actually like uses for them now. They're not like they did in Xanathar's last time.
Yeah. Like, the domain spells, at least, they say they have some more combat-y damage dealing spells in the knowledge domain spells. Okay, cool. Let's see here. Mind magic. Oh, you can use a channel divinity to cast a domain spell without spending a spell slot. That's kind of neat. And then the Unfettered Mind is a new feature that gives you telepathy and a bonus to intelligence checks. When you practice some conduct wisdom. Additionally, if your total for an intelligence check is lower than your wisdom score, you can use the score in place of the total. That's kind of neat. Okay. Hey, all those knowledge skills that I don't have intelligence for as a cleric, I can just, at 6th level, pretend my wisdom is this what I rolled.
I mean, they changed the core for...
They could have. For skill knowledges or something.
I thought they made it so religion was now wisdom.
Look, I gotta be honest, I don't know what you did. Or I couldn't remember them.
I'm trying to find them. It's annoying having a book.
Yeah.
I can't just search the PDF.
Yeah. Physical books. I'm like, so that seems interesting. It feels like it's at least updated a little bit. So, I mean, I liked Knowledge Domain Cleric. I think I played what cleric I played. I don't remember what kind of cleric I played. Gotta be honest. Might have been Knowledge. Might have been Knowledge. But it seems okay for updates. I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie. Purple Dragon Knight gives you a dragon. So...
Yeah, that was interesting. I saw that.
Yeah. Get comprehend languages as a fighter that can ritual cast. Neat. You can use your second win on your dragon. Neat. And it gets better.
Yeah, it goes from small to medium. Small at level 3 to medium at level 7. You can also write it. You can mount if you're medium or smaller. Okay, so if it's medium, you can write it still as medium.
Okay. And then at 15th it becomes large. Wow, and you get 18th level, you get resistance to psychic and force damage. This is a force damage, is kind of interesting. And then the Rallying Surge, which was Inspiring Surge, which lets you choose 3 creatures within radius, also gives you a creatures with retreat option. Let's see here. Allies make 1 attack. Okay, so you can give your allies a thing. And then include your dragon.
Yeah, and then you get large at 15.
Wow. It takes till 15th level that the dragon doesn't fall if it's airborne when you're riding it. It can fly a little bit while carrying you. It just has to end its turn not flying. But it's medium. Poor dragon. It's not big enough yet.
Honestly, that is totally fair for the purpose of balance.
Yeah. I think it's fine.
Oh yeah, okay, I finally found it. Yeah, so artisan tools actually give you a collection of things you can craft.
Oh, that's
like in the book, it's like
you can actually do stuff with it. Yeah.
Utensil, carpenter's tools. You can craft ink, spell components, or something like that. Yeah. Let's see. Calligraphy supplies is you can craft ink and spell scrolls. Carpenter tools. You can craft clubs, great clubs, quarterstaffs. So, like, it gives you a list of things you can craft.
Okay. So, I mean, so there is uses to that exist in a much better space than something, let's say, like language could be a very good story thing, but it's not going to mechanically help a character, and most times it doesn't really matter. So I feel like I can understand.
There are a lot
that.
of GMs who don't deal with language. I like to deal with language because I think it's nice, but I can totally understand why making that a standard is less useful.
I usually only deal with language when it makes sense thematically in a situation. Like if your people decide to go talk to someone who lives in an area that has a different language, then you have to figure out how to talk with them, that kind of thing. But in theory, you're probably not going to worry.
But yeah, tools that gives you like cook utensils, improve food flavor, or detects spoiled or poisoned food. So it gives you options for stuff you can do with them in the core book. And if you get Xanathars, you can get honestly a expanded list of that, because that is honestly kind of minimal compared to Xanathars.
So it sounds like they've done okay updates for Knowledge Domain. It sounds like Purple Dragon Knight is reworked in a very interesting way. Let's see, the Oath of the Noble Genie, I've heard people talk about. It has a lot of flavor of the Genie Warlock, which I just played a Genie Warlock in a game that finished up, so that's kind of neat that it kind of fits that a little bit. Gives you special smites, which are actually kind of cool, using your channel divinity. One of them you can grapple someone, another one you can teleport. There's an extra damage one, and also something to make a save or be pushed away. It's pretty much like the grapple one, which is pretty cool, and the movement one are the best ones. Gives some interesting spells. Here's the big thing I heard about the Genie one. If you aren't wearing medium or heavy armor, you get your charisma modifier to AC. So this can deal with a lot of other classes that might have dips and things, or basically ancestries that have special AC things, to get some pretty good AC options, and be I think someone said, this could be the build for a Dex Paladin.
Yeah.
Because you're getting that charisma to AC.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. I think that opens up a lot of options. You can get an aura that basically resists elements. That's pretty cool. And you can reaction, basically reduce some damage and possibly shoot energy back at them. And eventually you get fly at 20th level. And a minor wish ability, which is neat. But it's 20th level, so it's... So I think it's a cool ability.
And it's not actually a wish based thing. It's literally, if you read it, it's just if they
you are an ally or
fails a D20 test, you can take a reaction to make it a success.
Yeah. But again, that's you use a bonus action to activate your Noble Scion for 10 minutes. So I mean, it's for a combat you can do that. Use your reaction units. So still, it's pretty good. You're using your reaction to save some people. It's not bad. It's just it's a 20th level thing, so you don't see it. Let's see. I'm guessing that the Winter Walker is new. I didn't hear a lot about that up till now. Just because, the last couple of days, I've heard people talking about this thing. Resistant to cold damage. Depends honestly on the game. That might be very good. Do you have cold damage with your attacks? Same thing.
Although, actually, that's not that great, because generally when you're fighting things that deal cold damage, they're resistant to cold.
Wasn't going to say it, but you were really hit on the notes. I thought about that as I was saying it. I'm man. Yeah.
Oh, wait, no. This extra damage ignores resistance to cold damage when you reach level 11. This damage increases to 1d... yeah.
Oh, so it automatically resists cold damage. That's cold resistance.
Well, when you reach level 11, so it takes a while.
No. It says when you reach level 11, it increases d6. Earlier, when level 3, it already resisted. Before there.
Got it.
Before. So, yeah, it automatically resists, goes through resistance. So, yeah, actually, that means that you're very good in cold environments. It's awesome.
Yeah, so you only have to worry about immunity.
Again, these are things that I don't like are tied to Hunter's Mark, but they're cool abilities. Your temporary hit points when you cast temporary, your temporary hit points equal D10 plus ranger level, and when it's hit by your hunter mark, it can't disengage.
Honestly, if I ever run 5.5, I'm gonna basically make it so if you play a ranger, Hunter's Mark is no longer concentration for rangers.
It's like you have a bunch of other concentration spells, and a lot of your abilities are tied to Hunter's Mark. Why is it concentration?
Yeah, it's basically like if you're going to make Hunter's Mark a core piece of your character, then just make it not.
Yeah, why have spells otherwise? I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. Anyway, cold spells, they're neat.
Well, for when someone knocks out your concentration, that's why you have spells, spell slots.
Well, that's when you cast Hunter's Mark again.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. That's why I have spell slots. You don't have other spells; you just have spell slots.
Let's see here. They have a healing ability that you can use on your allies. Your allies, in addition to yourself, and your character support rescue the number of creatures with a wisdom modifier. They regain some hit points plus your ranger level and advantage on saving throws for rolls in the fright condition for 1 hour. Not bad. Let's see here. Chilling Retribution is a reaction. We're doing something to make a wisdom save, do a spell save DC, or gain frightened condition. And then the top tier abilities of Frozen Hunt. Again, using Hunter's Mark, where you get a hunter ghostly form. And you can only use the ghostly form once for a long rest, unless you expel spell slots. You get immunity to cold, and an emanation that deals cold damage, and you're partially incorporeal. It's got some neat abilities.
I do like the idea that, I'm not sure I remember seeing this much, but the fact that you can get certain abilities back by expending spell slots.
I do like that too, because especially high-level spell slots can be very potent, and like certain like potent abilities getting them back for it. It feels like it's equivalent. Again, they kind of are. Let's see here. The Scion of 3, which is a rogue, has bonuses against bloodied creatures, so...
Also, it's related to the Dread 3, so you're literally a Scion of... Yeah, so you're literally a Scion of Ball, Mercule, and yeah.
Yup.
That doesn't sound like it's very great for having in a party, but we'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
I feel like part of me feels like they made this just because of the Dark Urge.
You're not wrong on that one. I feel like that could be a good reason to do that, because that kind of played through and be in people's minds a lot. So yeah, sneak attacking bloody creatures that deals extra damage. Hey, it's already at half health. It dies quicker. And when
it literally says in the fluff that this is most common in Baldur's Gate, where the Dead 3 have a lot of influence.
And when you kill something, or which is 0 hit points, I should say, you can use a reaction to teleport 30 feet. So pretty good there. Depending on which of the Dread 3 you are aligned to, you gain a resistance in a cantrip. So, and let's see. You get some new cutting strike actions, one that causes the frightened condition. You get Orb Malevolence and Emanation. That thing's up to damage equal ink modifier of the type that you have resistance to. Oh, okay, so like if you were Bane or Psychic Resistance, you do an aura that does your int damage, your int modifier is damage to creatures of your choice.
It is kind of nice, although 10 foot is kind of short. Doesn't mean you have to get close.
Yeah. I mean, it's an extra thing, and it does ignore resistance it says. And then the Dread Incarnate, which with advantage on creatures that are frightened, and if you roll your sneak attack damage, you treat 1s as 2s on the dot, 1s or 2s as 3s. Pretty standard for these stuff.
Yep.
Spellfire Sorcerer. Spellfire Sorcery. When you spend a sorcery point part of your magic action or a bonus action on your turn, you can unleash one of the following magical effects, which is you and one creature you see within 30 feet of yourself gains temporary hit points. Okay, cool. Or one creature you see within it must make a dex save or take damage. Okay, so when you spend a sorcery point, you can also either give some temporary hit points or damage something as a bonus. Not bad. Interestingly enough, I do see on their sorcery thing here, they have Cure Wounds.
Yes. To be fair, there was always there was like the the Radiant Soul Sorcerer or something, right? Before that also had it, so.
Yeah, okay, that's kind of cool. You always have counterspell prepared. And so if there's something, if you do counterspell something, you regain sorcery points.
Mm-hmm.
The Spellfire Burst improves any hit points and damage you deal. And 18th level has a bonus action for 1 minute, which you use for long rest unless you spend 7 sorcery points. Expensive. When you hit it with an attack roll, you can spend a number of hit dice up to the maximum to do charisma modifier. To roll the expended dice and reduce the amount of damage from an attack you do total roll, plus your sorcerer level. Oh! So you can use your hit dice that you would normally use for healing to reduce damage. Okay. Interesting. And then you can fly and you take half damage from spells and extra effects.
Okay. Honestly, I almost want to do the math for this one, because I bet they made it so it's not possible, but... Hold on, I need to look up something, because I'm curious as to how many sorcery points it costs to replace Counterspell. CO... there are a lot of things with CO. Counterspell is third. And okay, how many sorcery points do you need to replace it?
Isn't it like 1 per level? Or...
I think it's 1 plus 1 per level, or so it's 1 plus level or something like that.
Oh, something like 4.
Yeah. Sorcery cost is spell level 3 is 5 sorcery points. Okay, so it's not even. It's 2, 3, 5, 7, or 6, 7. So you technically can't fully get stuff back, but it is. So basically, yeah, that's why they made it 1d4. So that's still really good. You could, in theory, get back like basically a 2nd level slot if you roll well.
Yeah.
Or 2 1st level slots if you wanted to, by spending a 3rd level spell.
Yeah, it's definitely very interesting.
Yeah.
And then we got the last one is Blade Singer. So Blade Song now allows you to use your intelligence to attack and damage. To attack and damage when the song is active. The number of uses is now tied to intelligence modifier. Bonus action to do that when you aren't wearing armor or using a shield.
Mm-hmm.
So you go combat-y that way. You get and during that you also get bonus to your AC with your int modifier, and your speed increased by 10. Yeah. So there's a lot of interesting things there. And you get bonuses to concentration saves. So it definitely seems like Blade Song, I guess it's a little bit buffed now for that, because it allows you to int to attack and damage. I'm guessing the other ones you already have.
Yeah, you gain bonus to AC equal to your intelligence modifier, which I think you already did.
Yeah. I'm guessing the bonus to concentration you probably already got, but I guess the blade work is either changed or better now.
Yeah, whenever you attack with a weapon in which you have proficiency, you can use your intelligence modifier for the attack, damage rolls instead of strength or dexterity. Which is, it's very much just, you can focus on one thing, you don't have to spread out. That was always a big problem with the Blade Song, is that you had to spread yourself pretty thin, because you needed, I mean, you generally pick the dexterity weapon, let's be real, and then you go dexterity and int, which you kind of already need anyway for a wizard, so it's not like the biggest thing, but it does allow you to use a strength weapon. Like if you wanted to be a Blade Song with a great sword, you can now.
Okay. Now gets you proficiency. Oh, okay. So you don't get armor training, it looks like. Instead, you get proficiency with martial melee weapons that don't have two-handed or heavy. You can use your melee weapon as a spellcasting focus, and you get a skill proficiency.
Yeah. But you can
So-
still get proficiency through feats, so you can for both armor and weapons. So.
But again, like, agility requires you to be... Your blade song requires you to be unarmored anyway. So...
Does
probably, yeah, it does say, as a bonus action, invoke an elven magic called
Oh,
Blade
if you
Song.
don armor or if you use two hands to make an attack with a weapon, you, yeah, it ends
Yeah.
if you do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
Would mage armor count, though?
no, generally no.
So you probably just want to go mage armor route anyway.
Yeah.
You do get extra attacks.
So you're still gonna want dex anyway. You're still gonna want dex.
Yeah. Sounds like Song of Defense is the same as it was, and Song of Victory is the other change they had. That now allows you to make a weapon attack as a bonus action after casting a spell with an action. Okay, so I'm guessing it was something different before. After cast a spell, cast a time of action, you can make one attack with a weapon as a bonus action. So, I don't know what Song of Victory was before, but I'm guessing it's better now that you can spell and sword at the same time.
Oh, I think you just cast a spell that has a casting time. I
It
think
might-
it was like it was before you had to cast a cantrip,
Oh.
if I remember
okay.
correctly.
Got you. So it wasn't. So now it's you just cast a spell and you get a bonus action attack too. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Okay. I like the buff to Blade Singer, honestly. Here's the
It
thing.
was required.
Yeah.
Um,
This is all pretty good stuff, you know. It's
I
like-
still don't think it's as great as it could. I still don't think it's honestly as great as just making a Eldritch Warrior.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Like, yeah. Because the problem is like, at least now you get the, or no, you already got intelligence modifier to your armor, right?
I think
Previously,
so.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's
anyway.
pretty good. Good old Sword Coast Adventures guy.
This is making me pull out all my books. Where? Druids, Paladins, Rangers, Rogues, Sorcerer, Wizard. Where's okay? Wait, what? I thought it was here.
That I can't answer. I thought it was Sword Coast too. As soon as
Oh,
you
there it
mentioned
is. There's Blade Singing.
Ah.
Also, yeah, there it is. So it just was odd because it starts at the bottom of the page over here. Gain a bonus to your AC to your intelligence. Your walking speed increases by 10 feet. You have advantage on dexterity acrobatics checks. You gain bonus to constitution saving throws to maintain your concentration and spells equal to your intelligence modifier. You can use this feature twice. Oh yeah, and it's just you can use it twice. Now you can use it equal to your intelligence modifier, which is nice.
It's yeah, like that's definitely good.
Oh no, so the final one was you add your intelligence modifier to damage of your melee weapon attacks. So
Wow.
now you can cast and bonus attack.
Right, it's better. Anyway.
Yeah, that is way better, I agree.
So looks like they got some cool things from Unearthed Arcana. Again, like
Oh, I think the thing I was thinking of was a Eldritch Knight feature where you can cast and
yeah, that
cast
sounds.
and attack.
I think the thing I can say is, if you're interested in these, just use them.
Well,
It's the kind
that's
of thing
always
where-
been the case. I mean, I remember the whole thing with like Ranger, where it's all like there's the Unearthed Arcana Ranger that everyone used, and then they released it, made it slightly better, and now it's even worse. So you might as well just use the Unearthed Arcana Ranger still.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Might as just well use the elder ones as before. But we can continue on. There's a little bit more D&D we can talk about briefly here. This is just because we know some more books that are coming out this year.
Yeah.
This is an article that just increases 2 of them. We knew there was a dragon book coming out in July, but it's now going to be called Dragon Delves, and it's 10 short adventures that deal with grammatically.
Wait,
how dragons-
Wait, so this is the other D&D news?
Yes, D&D books this year. Why?
Did you not hear about the other thing?
What other thing can I miss?
I need to I didn't find an article, but I saw a video about it. Apparently, D&D Chris Cox admitted to using AI in D&D already.
Why don't we save that for next week and we simply could get some articles on it? I haven't heard about that.
Yeah, I just heard about it literally this morning. So
Okay. So, sounds like we have a topic for next week that we'll definitely be talking about. That'll be very wonderful.
Yep. Okay, I thought that's what we were going to talk about when you had said D&D news. I'm like, oh, okay.
No, I hadn't heard about that one. I no of my sources picked up on anything this morning, and none of the other content creators have done any stuff on it today.
I mean, literally, the one video I saw came out 17 hours ago, so it's pretty new news as far as I'm aware. But I thought you might have picked up on it.
Yeah. We'll have to take a look, see what people talk about, and if the news sites pick it up, they'll probably have some sources that they've actually checked out. We don't want to.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm going to just I'll just post this to you personally.
Okay. So
because I still need to watch it. Because like I said, I had D&D this morning, so like I wasn't able to.
So while Dragon Delves doesn't always deal with combat against dragons, it's from levels 1 to 12. It does involve dragons or books there. We know they're coming out with an Eberron book in August, which is really interesting because it is supposed to be actually like a companion book to the previous Eberron book we had, Rising of the Last War, and they're basically, with the two of them, you have a pretty good idea of the campaign setting of Eberron, which is kind of interesting. It sounds like, which I'm not necessarily against, we're not going to get any big like campaign setting books. We're going to get adventures that are going to show us more settings and stuff like that. That's not necessarily bad. I just want to see how they deal with it. Heroes of the Borderlands is a starter set in September. It's, I guess, a return to Keep in the Borderlands, the time has passed from the original adventure module. And they have a Forgotten Realms Player's Guide in November. Which I'm guessing, hey, we're going to see those Unearthed Arcana if they're going to make any changes on them. Stuff they just did in the Forgotten Realms book in November. And they're also putting out an adventure guide to Forgotten Realms. Which I'm glad they're not forgetting the Forgotten Realms, because it does have popularity because of Baldur's Gate 3. And as much as, you know, we might see some more in Greyhawk. Particular, I think that's also maybe not a bad thing. That's a strength of theirs. And if they do this correctly, rather than have a primary campaign settings, but have a bunch of different ones that show off different worlds, that might not be bad. You know, as a, like, you know, hey, this is a world you can use or something. Or you can get inspiration from it. I don't know if they're going to do that. But we'll see. Sounds like some interesting books are coming on things. We'll have to see how they do. And we'll have to talk about other stuff. But for now, you can talk about Guns and Gears for a little bit here. I'll pass it on to you, since you got the Guns and Gears book.
Oh yeah, sorry. I was just trying to do a real quick look to see if I can find anything. I'm not seeing anything, so I'm gonna have to watch that video to see what that guy pulls up. He may have some like evidence or something. We'll see.
It's a thing that you noticed that they're.
I literally saw this morning. I haven't been able to watch it. I have no idea what it talks about, and it may be a little bit sensationalized just to get clicks. So I don't know. That's also a possibility. So so it may be like sound worse than it is. So don't let us do research before you start lighting fires. Yeah, so Guns and Gears, I'm honestly gonna. This is actually funny enough the only original second edition book that I got, physical book that I got before the remasters. I decided to start buying all the remaster stuff, so I have all the physical remaster books. But I did have one before the remaster, and it was Guns and Gears. So I actually went through and was able to like flip page by page. There's very little changed.
I guess it's just mainly updating mechanics and stuff to how the remaster works now.
I'm gonna be honest, most of it was just name changes, and I honestly didn't see very many like even mechanic changes. At least in my quick overview, I haven't had been able to go.
I guess
super
because
in depth,
like
but
the remaster project doesn't really change a lot mechanically anyway. So, and I feel like because Inventor and Gunslinger are very far from D&D 5e or D&D in general, it doesn't really get a lot of work.
Yeah, so But this does lead credence to my theory that they're basically going to update all their books just so they are Orc license compatible rather than D&D license compatible.
This is effectively like a reprinting of... I guess we can think of it more as a tiny bit of update with probably some small amount of errata, but mostly just a new printing of this. It's just it's probably under the Orc license, and it's disconnected from anything D&D much more.
Yeah. Because, like, I mean, there were a few little, like, probably the closest thing I could say to, like, a change that I saw, which didn't feel very Orc updated, was, like, I noticed they kind of changed the wording in, like, one or two of the descriptions of something. I haven't seen any mechanics, though, in my quick search, but, again, that was a quick search, so. But, like, I noticed, like, one of the things, they changed the description of something, and then added a bigger description to another thing. So it's all, like, yeah. So, like, they clarified a few things. It didn't feel like a change as much as a clarification.
Which clarification is good, so.
Yeah.
That sounds like a very good and simple change. That's very helpful.
Yeah. So, honestly, if you don't have it, get the new one. If you do, probably not really worth buying the new one.
You could probably, like, find, like, a list of small changes somewhere to figure out with using your stuff if there's anything you need to work with.
Yeah. Yeah, the biggest thing is basically just what they're calling stuff.
Yeah. We are getting, interestingly enough, a reprint of a classic D&D, but not in D&D. So Goodman Games, who does Dungeon Crawl Classics, is bringing us Dark Tower, which Dark Tower was a adventure that came out in 1980 for Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. I had to do research on the classic adventure a little bit because I'm like, I didn't know much about this classic adventure. It's a 1980s one. So let me put the link into chat. So basically, they have a 3-volume book set for doing the adventure. It looks to be if you don't know about Dungeon Crawl Classic, just to give you a basically summary of it, it's basically I'd call it modern version of AD&D. So it is a much more harder, brutal system. But a lot of, like, the issues that would have been with, like, AD&D had been removed in Dungeon Crawl Classic.
It smooths out the clunk of early D&D, but keeping the spirit of it.
Yeah. So it's like, if you really want to try out early D&D, I would probably recommend just trying some Dungeon Crawl Classic. I do have some of those books for reasons. Inherited it from my friend who passed away many years ago. At this point in time, he had them. And I've managed to read through some of them back in then days, so they are very interesting there. So it's basically 3 volumes together that make up. Volume 1 is reprints of the original Dark Tower with annotations. Volume 2 is the Dungeon Crawl Classic conversion of it. So it does give you a copy of the AD&D version of it if you buy the thing. And cool. Volume 3 then is a new adventure set in the same world and going on there. So it's like probably you can maybe a sequel, maybe a side adventure in the same kind of setting. But apparently, Goodman Games had got the rights from Judges Guild, who originally published it, basically to put out this for both possibly 5e and Dungeon Crawl Classic back in 2021. And I guess it just took them a while to put everything together and get it out here. And this actually might just be a special 3-case version of it. I don't know if they had previously put out the Dark Tower versions of it individually. But at least here is the 3-volume set you wanted to get. 2 adventures in Dungeon Crawl.
In here, they do seem to have the Dark Tower print and PDF, but I don't know if they had that before or not.
Yeah. Again, they could have just had the adventure individually out on its own, and this could just be out now. I just had seen that like they had the 3-volume thing out now, and it was a classic adventure. So they might have had their version out.
On that site, on the site for the item, they don't give a date, so I don't know.
again, I know this might not. I don't think it's been out too long, but it could have been out for a little bit. So, and again, it could have been out in the PDF store much earlier. And these were physical copies in game, so that also happens a lot too. That people get PDFs out first. We can then say, why don't we talk about Cryptozoic for a few small topics here? So, Cryptozoic, if you do not know about it, they do some games. They also do some little figures and stuff, but they have 2 tabletop-related things I want to talk about. First one here is they're having a new Kickstarter, which I'm linking the article they have here. It links to their Kickstarter for Card Wars, which is the Adventure Time card game that was in the show, and Cryptozoic did a physical version of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's fun.
So, yeah, it was fun, and they're getting a new kind of, printing with some new packs and stuff, too. So, I guess it's maybe some of the old stuff plus some new stuff, too. So, it'll be more cards and things like that. So, I mean, it sounds like it was a kind of hit when they first printed it a couple years ago, and they just wanted to get some more stuff out there now. So, it's fun that, an animated show with a card game in it that's not the focus of it can also get get that card game printed. It was a fun thing Cryptozoic did. So,
it's kind of like, what is it in The Witcher? What is that called?
Gwent.
Gwent.
Gwent. I got close to the name.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's physical, but I do know someone made the
I think there is well, you can play it. I think there is hold on.
A physical version of it, right? Because I know there's the game version. Where it's separate.
Yeah, it's
I guess you can get a physical copy.
Actually, I think this might be maybe an extra bit of news. I just found something from December 6th that it's being made.
Oh. Well, we'll probably have to talk about it when we know more about that. That's a little side thing. Physically.
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna attempt to. Whoops, I didn't mean to click on that. Yeah, it says Hatchet Board Games will attempt to bring it to life as a physical card game. The tabletop publisher announces that the physical version of Gwent will be released in 2025.
Okay.
So we'll probably hear about it at some point.
Yeah. The Adventure Time Card Wars 2025 Kickstarter, it's funded. It's Cryptozoic, so you can expect good things from it. It's a larger company, so you don't really have to worry as much if you're interested in getting into it. It looks like the basically base collector thing is $75 with various other, boosters and stuff and things like that. So if you want to look into it, you can. I linked the news site for it, but that links to the other interesting thing that they are doing, that Cryptozoic had news for this week, and I just want to put it together, is apparently they've interestingly...
There also are a lot of Gwents for purchase, so those may be... okay, that's what that is. So this Gwent is going to be a collectible card game. Or sorry, trading card game. Whereas I think they do have collectible card game versions of the Gwent out already.
Interesting. But Cryptozoic's apparently partnered with Peanuts to do tabletop games. Apparently they're doing 2 products so far, which is a game called The Doctor's Inn. The other one is Play Packs, which I don't know much about there. I guess they're little fun little things. But this is kind of a weird one to, interesting one to deal with. Cryptozoic does do a bunch of they do a bunch of DC stuff and things like that. So they aren't outside of the realm of doing licensed stuff. So good luck to them. I mean, Peanuts has been around for 75 years, but I guess I don't know how popular it is now.
Who knows? I mean, I know a lot of the classic movies are still seen a lot.
Yeah. So there could be enough popularity that it's still. Then we have Legacies of Kaine. If you're unaware of Legacies of Kaine, they were video games in the PlayStation era. Apparently we're getting a combination encyclopedia and tabletop role-playing game based on it.
Oh, also the play packs are like coloring activity, foil activity, sticker puzzle.
They're
So
like
it's
little
definitely more
like
for kids, I think.
it's like a little trading card kid thing, you know, like
Yeah.
baseball cards with like colored cards or like gum in them or something, or stickers in a card pack.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know a lot about Legacies of Kaine, other than it was a game series. I've heard things about the games, so I can't tell you a lot. But they're apparently doing a Legacies of Kaine Book of Nosgoth, which is the encyclopedia, and then they will have.
You should sue them. You already did Legacies of Kaine tabletop.
It's spelled differently.
I know.
And Legacies of Kaine Scourge of Saffron is apparently the role-playing game set prior to the events of Blood Omen. Prior to Blood Omen. Which one was Legacies of Kaine Blood? Because Soul Reaver was the other one. I think Blood Omen was the first one of the series. Because there's Blood Omen 2, and Soul Reaver. Soul Reaver is the one I really knew most about. But, yeah. Oh, they did a Soul Reaver 2 also. And, oh, I see why. The remaster for Soul Reaver 1 and 2 came out last year. So that's why there's some popularity for Legacies of Kaine. Ah. So basically, before, timeline-wise, before, like, all the games take place, you know, that's when you get your RPG adventures.
I wonder if anyone's finding your videos by searching this.
I don't know. Interesting. That's a good question. Possibly. I do link things and mention things. Let's see here. What
Probably not. I just searched Legacies of Kaine.
Well, it's right now. We'll probably have to wait until it's like uploaded.
That's fair. But I did it with a seed. Well, no, now's the time when it's like not as.
With a C? Oh, Legacies of Kaine, that series. I don't know. That'd be kind of weird.
But that's a common misspelling. Well, it's not a common misspelling. It's like if someone hears the term Legacies of Kaine, they might search with the C because that's how it's spelled in the Bible. So
it looks like
that's why I thought.
They use the Morkborg system. We've talked about Morkborg a few times, a little bit. So it's a very much more like role-playing heavy system, which I guess could work for this kind of more brutal, vampire-rich world, monsters and things like that. So it's a simple D20 system, and yeah, they do have some basics on rules on it. Some things they got some deluxe versions and stuff like that, puppy dice and stuff. They show you what you get. There's some stretch goals they do have. There's on backer kit, and it does seem to be funded in. Is that pounds? The L's pounds? Maybe.
I think that's euros because it's like.
I'm
pretty sure that's euros. No, that is pounds.
It was the pounds. I'm bad at remembering foreign money symbols. I remember what they are.
It's annoying.
I mean, I guess to strike while the iron is hot with the remasters coming out last year for a couple of games, this is probably a good point in time to do this. So cool.
Mm-hmm. You should go through and rename all of your series with a K.
No. I spelled it correctly how it is in Vampire the Masquerade. Thank you very much. So that's why. Yep. Alright. And our final one is just, this one was shared with us with Momo. We're not going to go too dips into it, but there's a bunch of interesting Warhammer miniatures that have been shown off.
Yeah.
I will link.
We're not going two dips, just one dips.
Yeah, just one. Just a little pinky toe in. Not going too deep. What was it that... We're probably going to be getting Dark Mechanus as a much more of a faction, according to Momo. That's their take on this entire thing for seeing these. I don't know a lot about that faction, so I guess it's like a faction that we're getting a little bit more on. Or we haven't gotten a lot on, so cool. Neat. But it does look like we are getting some things from like Age of Sigmar into. Like, I know the rat people are Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
Those look interesting as minis. We're getting some much more stuff and directions that work.
Oh, so Dark Mechanist is basically the Tech Priest Chaos, the Tech Priest Chaos.
Oh, Tech Priests that go to Chaos. Got
Yeah.
you. That makes sense then. Okay. So I guess we haven't really gotten a lot of that, and we'll be theoretically getting that as a faction.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Alright. Well. I guess we can talk about our week in gaming.
Mm-hmm.
So, did we? I didn't do anything on Sunday. Did you do anything on Sunday?
No.
Same for me for Monday, but I think I did.
Tuesday, you and Joe played something, but I don't know if you played Tabletop Sim.
Yeah, we finished up our game that we were doing. We basically fought like the enemy god, which it was like the risen god, and had like the stats of like a solar kind of modified with some things. But we were level 15, so we were strong enough to face it, and managed to defeat it. We found out that it was actually kind of raised from the dead because it had basically taken on, in order to raise to a godhood, it had also incorporated the power of like a dead god into it. So like a fraction of the dead god spoke to us briefly before like returning to the kind of thing. So that was kind of neat. And like we saved this ally of ours who was a demigod by giving them our power. So they ascended to godhood. A couple of our people went off with them, and a bunch of us stayed behind just to do like the things. Like I didn't want to leave with them, so I was like, I'm just gonna stay here. I'm already an elf and not immortal. I'm just gonna I'm probably even more immortal now that I'm been touched by divinity briefly. I'm just gonna go hang out and make sure my people don't do stupid shit anymore, or maybe go down a better path. Just help them out a little bit. That was nice. I think it was a pretty good ending. It was a pretty simple ending, I feel like, for a lot of the story, but I think it was a pretty good one, and I had a good time for it. So I think the game ended well. It was nice to get a character to some high-level shenanigans and get it done. I did play a little bit of Magic with Joe. We only did 2 games. Magic. But they happened. Basically, it was we each played with different decks each time. And it was very one-sided accident. I know we did chat about some stuff for my kind of game. We're in a better pace for it. I think I'll probably be getting it together in the next couple of weeks. We might be starting, and then I just have to get some final things together and make sure people are happy. So
Okay.
pretty good shape with that. I can say that safely here. And then we had a little bit of tabletop sim that you, me, and Joe played too.
Yeah, that was Thursday?
I think that was Thursday, yes. We did more Wrath of Ashardlon. We did another run of that. That went better than our last one. I think it just made better luck. And, the final battle, it ended up in a situation where...
Yeah, so...
Terrible finish.
Yeah, because, so basically, we had some luck. We actually, in my opinion, got real unlucky really early, because within the first, 2 or 3 rounds, Joe and I was down to, 4, both of Joe and I were at half health.
Yeah. So, I mean, it felt easier than the last time because we didn't use both of our healing surges. But it wasn't a walk in the park,
Yeah. And then, but when we eventually reached the final room, we luckily got it in a spot, because it was one where it's go to this room and kill all the creatures in this room. Actually, that's the nice thing. We go to this room and then draw a random objective, and the one we got was kill all the monsters. And the way it spawned the room, because there were rules for how the room were generated, created a much more easy size. So choke point. And so they all basically walked into and then the monster's abilities were all walk into this room, and then by the time, and I was the one who discovered it, so by the time they all got around back to me, oh no, yeah, so that's what was nice about it, is the one that was in the room in front of me was the gibbering mouther, which attacks from one square away. And then the other two moved forward. Yeah, and so the other two moved forward, which was perfect for me to just, it wasn't a fireball, but it was it was like a shocking sphere or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was just AoE. It does 2 damage, and none of them had more than 2 health.
It was a good circumstance. We got like a good
and I rolled a 19 to hit.
Yeah, I think it went very well. We had some backups for stuff in there, but I think that was we had some very good rolls and stuff, and made it work out very well. So I do like it, and definitely there were, judging that the boss we can fight can be part of that we're going to be fighting in the next one. One of those cards has that boss as part of it.
Yeah.
Some of those chamber cards are probably so much more brutal. We got the easy one. One of the easier ones.
Yeah, we also got lucky. So, we got lucky with, one of the easier objectives in a good place. Because the thing is, the objective is also based on, if we went into the room and it was in a different position, we would have gotten more tiles. Because, you place tiles based on the... Yeah, because you can get up to, 3 adjacent tiles, but we only got 2 because of the placement.
I also think that, because the way I know for, all the adventures, this one I think there's, 2 of them that are, much more replayable, and this is one of those 2 replayable ones, so we played this once, we could always come back and do it again, and get a different chamber and stuff like that.
Yep.
Not that all of them aren't replayable, but this one just, it's got a little bit of a random objective.
Yeah.
So, this one. You had your game today, unless there was something else in between you, right?
No, we did Friendly Fire Friday yesterday, so.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm starting to think maybe I should call it Friendly Fire Day.
Hey,
Anyway. Anyway, but yeah, my game, I'm gonna be honest, it was kind of boring because I didn't do much. It was one of those, it's D&D 2E with space and logistics, and it was just a lot of talking about what we're gonna do. And then...
It is unfortunate that those sessions are boring, but they are kind of needed sometimes, but they are kind of...
If I was more a part of the game currently, it might have been more interesting, but I don't feel like my character would interject at this time because he's still brand new and he hasn't even signed on to the crew yet. He's technically a passenger and a guest right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm planning to do that once I solve whatever I'm going to do in the next area. Whether it succeeds or fails, I'm going to try and sign on to the crew.
Okay. So sort of story-wise, you're not as integrated, so it's like your character wouldn't interject in a lot of these discussions.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but yeah. So basically, the general idea is last time we took out some pirates who attacked us, and so we figured out how we were going to transport this ship back. On the way back, we ran into another ship who we discovered was a victim of the pirates. And we basically just, talked with them and then decided to tow them back. So now we're piloting 2 ships and towing 1. And then we made landfall at Grilla in gray space.
Okay.
Yeah, and which is a bunch of, basically, think of it as like a bunch of little asteroid planetoids that are, so like a bunch of little mini settlements. Yeah. We basically went to the one that the people in the turtle ship wanted to go to. The turtle ship was the one that was damaged. They were lizardmen, technically, not turtle people. I think I said turtle people, but
it's fine. I can accept your lizard man based racism. Sorry.
Let's see. Then we made a little trip. I asked around about where to find gnomish colonies because I needed to find one. because supposedly my grandpappy was in one, and that's the thing I'm trying to deliver him. News of his wife's death, basically, is my character's goal. I don't know if he's going to be there or not. Depends on the GM. It might just be, okay, and this is done, and I move on. Or it could be, oh, I need to find him somewhere else, or something else. Who knows? Maybe he's murdered, and I have to find his killer or something. Who knows?
You have to get vengeance. God damn it, not vengeance. Again.
Vengeance. Yeah, so we'll see, but that'll probably be, honestly, next session. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, and then we basically just sold stuff, and then moved to another place, and did a lot of discussion about, honestly, the next plot place we're going to, but I'm going to be completely honest, I do not know why we're going there or what's going on. There's a lot of discussion, and honestly, as I mentioned, I was like kind of tired, and I was like just trying to keep myself awake, and it was just a lot of talking when I'm like, I'm not involved in this. I wasn't even allowed to leave the ship because it was a place that only elves and half-elves were allowed. Basically, it was an elven military base of some sort that we were going to pass off some prisoners, basically the pirate we captured and another guy we captured, and other stuff, because apparently the rest of the crew, I didn't realize this, is in debt to the elven military.
So you're in debt now, are you? Huh?
Yeah. So, anyway, it was just a lot of discussion about logistics, about can we sell this? Can we do this? And then I got some information, but I already had my information, so I kind of zoned out because I was tired. So I don't really know what happened after that.
Well,
I might need to listen to the second, like the last 30 minutes of the session because I don't remember.
Gotcha. Hopefully it will it'll be an interesting thing, and that this will be a good direction for the adventure.
Yeah.
At least done the hard work, so to say.
Yes. And I don't mind the background work. Funny enough, I feel like I'd be more interested in the background work if I was the one like doing spreadsheet stuff, but everyone else has got that handled already, so I'm just like, okay. That's actually kind of why I like doing that stuff, because it helps me engage a little bit better.
Gotcha. Well, sounds like an exciting week that we had this week, so I guess we can call it here.
Yep.
As I said, I've got a bunch of driving around to do this evening, so I'm going to dive into a deeper discussion today. But we'll be back next week with another big topic and some more news, of course. So if you want to make sure you're doing, check that out. Thank you, Worm, for joining. Let me give you the proper shout. If I spell shout right, apparently I can't do that. Apparently I can't.
It's an O, not an I. Yeah, it's spelled O-U, not
I did it correctly. It took a minute to spell correctly. Well, it's also like, I just kept accidentally hitting the wrong letter.
I mean, I was making a joke.
I realized you were, but I couldn't hear enough of it because I was too busy trying to figure out my own idiocy.
I said it's spelled O-U-T, not I-T.
So, everybody, have a great rest of your day. Make sure... Oh, Worm, what's you shout out your stuff.
Yeah, sorry, I'm tired still. DiamondWyrm on Twitch, DiamondWyrm on Blue Sky and Twitter. Next stream tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. PDT. And other stuff.
Woo, other stuff. Myself, I should be back on Tuesday, gaming. Wednesday, Thursday, tabletop. Friday, gaming again. And make sure to check out our new Friday get-togethers. Each of us has a slightly different name for it. Maybe we'll add those names together at some point in time for one united name. Who knows? That we are getting back into, so make sure to check that out. Anyway, everybody, have a great rest of your Saturday. Make sure to check everybody out when you can. And until the next time, bye and farewell. Goodbye.
Bye.